Hello, everyone. Elder Eileen Jordan here of Fresh Start Church in Ypsilanti, Michigan. On behalf of my pastor, Gregory Cannon Jr., and my co-pastor, First Lady Sharonda Cannon, I want to welcome you to today's Monday Moment. For today's Monday Moment, I'm going to be reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 25, verses 12 through 14, out of the King James Version. And it reads, "Who is the man that fears the Lord? He shall teach him in the way he chooses. He himself shall dwell in prosperity, and his descendants shall inherit the earth. The secret of the Lord is with those who fear him, and he will show them his covenant." So I just want to break this down a little bit. First, I want to talk about the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord, at its essence, means an unparalleled allegiance. That means a commitment and a loyalty to God as our superior and us as a subordinate. That means that there's nothing we are more committed to, no one we are more loyal to other than God. And obedience to God is the outward evidence of the fear of the Lord. When we are obedient to God, when we are truly in allegiance with God above everything else, that means that we are more obedient to God and submitted to God and His Word than we are to anything else, anyone else, that is the authority in our lives. That's what the fear of the Lord is. In the second verse, it talks a little bit about what God will do for that person that has that level of allegiance, that unparalleled commitment and loyalty. God's going to teach that individual what God He Himself wants to teach them. God is going to establish them in prosperity, true prosperity, not only in the natural, but also spiritual prosperity. And God's going to see to it that that individual's descendants inherit the earth. That means they are going to be in positions of power, leadership, and authority, primarily in spiritual ways, ways that will move and shift the atmosphere for the building of God's great kingdom. And then, thirdly, the secret of the Lord will be with those that fear Him. So, God is going to show us His covenant. A covenant is an agreement by legal contract. And if you think that a natural, earthly contract is binding, then let me tell you, that has nothing on a spiritual contract, a spiritual agreement. And not only spiritual, but an agreement between God, the creator of the universe, you and I. An agreement, a covenant, a promise that He's going to fulfill every commitment that He's made to us. How do we receive that? How do we have a heart posture of receiving that? By establishing unparalleled allegiance, commitment, and loyalty to Him, by being obedient to Him. Sometimes people think of that as a negative thing to be obedient. But I once told my children, and I did coin this quote, sometimes wisdom looks like obedience. Don't let that discourage you from practicing wisdom. It is wise to be obedient to the creator of the universe. Trust me, He knows how it all works and He knows how it's all going to end. And if we are in allegiance with Him, He's going to begin to reveal His covenant promise to us, each and every one of us. He started telling us about it in His Word all the way back in Genesis and throughout all of the scriptures in the Holy Bible. We can learn about it by studying the Word, and we can learn about it by being in holy covenant relationship with God, by fearing Him and having allegiance toward Him. If you want to learn more about how to establish that level of allegiance, that level of commitment, that level of loyalty, what it really looks like to live like that in a day-to-day way, I invite you to join me at Fresh Start Church. We meet every Sunday live and in person at 12 o'clock noon at 623 Oak Street in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We also have a virtual Bible study on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. You can get the link to the virtual Bible study by text messaging the word VChurch to the number 734-875-8787. Let us come alongside you in fellowship, in the assembling of God's people, to learn more about God, the allegiance that we have with Him, how to establish that allegiance, commitment, and loyalty toward Him, how to practice obedience to God and His Word, and how to have a heart posture in which the Lord will begin to reveal to us the secret of his covenant, his promise to us. And until I see you there, I pray you have an amazing week. I pray that you have a week that is filled with peace and many blessings. Take care.